work with are. So it can go either way, depending on the soldier's preference. The other thing that I'd mention is on the veteran side. And what we've got to offer there is, of course, programs like this. We do a happy hour call once a month. We start it in October and we go through April. So the goal is that we get it during the slower times of the year. Maybe everybody's just out feeding cattle or livestock or preparing for next year's crops. But the goal is that we kind of catch you during a slower time when maybe you're, I farm myself, so I understand how busy it gets, through the summer months. So get a little education, do a little networking and visiting with people. And that's what this is all about. The other thing that we do, if anybody is interested, is we offer a $400 educational stipend. So if there's any programs that you'd like to go visit, especially during these winter months, we're getting into the point of the year where it's ag meeting season. So Kentucky Hort Council's Fruit and Vegetable Conference coming up in January, Kentucky Cattlemen's Association's annual convention, any kind of seminars, any kind of conferences that you might have interest in that are ag related. We can pay for up to $400 to cover the registration for that event, travel to and from, and then the lodging if it's an overnight visit. So that's what we can do there. And we've got ways on our website that you can apply for that and then move forward. With that, I think that's all that I've got. I will say Happy Veterans Day. I know it was a couple days ago, but Happy Veterans Day. Appreciate all you all who have served to protect our country and keep us free. And with that, I'll turn it over. Hannah, you want to go next, and we'll just do brief introductions and let everybody know who we are.
All right, I'm Hannah Mallett. Like Spencer said, I'm with K-Card, so I'm also participating on base and with the CSP events. I'm over in the western half of Kentucky, close to Fort Campbell, and I'm a business development assistant with K-Card.
Thank you, Hannah. And to that point, what we do with K-Card a lot that's separate to this AgVet program is we do business planning work for farmers. So if there's ever anything that you all might want from us to help with that, we don't charge for any business plans. So we can offer that service free of charge and help you think through either starting a business, growing a business, adding an enterprise, all those kind of things. That's another part of what we do at K-Card. Anybody else want to introduce themselves on the call?
Spencer, I'm Kevin Slose. I'm up here in Greenup County, in Flatwoods. I've been involved with our farmers market up here, and I'm just getting started with the farmers market, really, to produce honey, honeybee byproducts from the wax, and also I'm looking at getting to start selling horse manure as compost. I kind of spent this last year acquiring equipment to be able to do that, but I'm still very new and have absolutely no idea what's available as far as resources.
Okay. Yeah. So there's several things there on that we could go into, and I'd be glad I can put my email in the chat.
Okay.
And we can talk about that further if you'd like.
I'd love to.
Because I've got a few producers that do honey, and I've actually got one other producer, Greenup. Where is Greenup County?
Are you familiar with Farmer Shane?
Yes.
I'm up here with him.
Okay.
I'm providing him his greenhouse, his new greenhouse compost.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
right up here next to Ashland.
yeah, okay. Okay. I was gonna say you're up there in the northeastern part of the state, and okay, I know exactly where you are. Um, yeah, I'll put that in the chat, and I'd be glad to visit with you. Might be myself or Hannah or someone else, but we can talk with you a little bit about that. Because we've
Yeah,
got honey
I'm very
producers.
I'm very interested in that honeybee conference in Louisville
Okay.
coming up.
Okay. When is that, Kevin?
January 4th through the 6th, 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Okay. Write that down. You said that was in Louisville?
Yes, at the Expo Center.
Okay.
Yeah, North American Honeybee Expo.
Okay. Yeah, I can get you, we can get you a copy of that application too, and then you send that in to us and we can get everything going from there.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
All we need is just, we got a couple questions, about what you learned at the conference. And then just give us the receipts that are applicable. And, that's really all we'll need, other than once the application is turned in.
Okay, that's great. I'll definitely get in touch with you all.
Okay. What branch of the service were you in, Kevin? If you don't mind
Uh,
me asking.
I, I was I had two careers. I retired as a civilian flight medic, and I was also an Army medic. I was medically retired after 18 years
Okay.
at 100% permanent total.
Okay. Well, like I said, I appreciate your service. Um, Cindy, you or Bethany, want to make an introduction there?
Sure, I don't mind. And then if Bethany wants to add anything, she certainly can. Cindy Finiseth, Kentucky Horticulture Council, and we also work statewide. No expense to growers in the state. We have several different programs that we are currently running: a cost share program for GAP certification, third party audits, and also an on farm water management cost share. So if anybody's interested in upgrading or doing an on-farm water project, certainly get in touch with us. And then we have the Fruit and Vegetable Conference coming up in January. Also, anyone who's interested in landscape and turf management, we have the Turf and Landscape Short Course in February. And then in the spring, we typically host a direct marketing summit. So, Kevin, certainly your farmers market and honey sales, if that's direct to consumer, that conference might be something that would be of interest.
Sandy,
Mhm.
one of the things that I got acquainted with Farmer Shane about was through water catchment. I have an equine barn that has about 85,000 square feet under roof. And the runoff runs onto a slope hill to where I'm not able right now to grow anything. And I would love if you're the person to talk to about water catchment and reuse.
Yep, I can drop the program information into the chat. But yeah, so doing gutter systems and catchment systems, that the program will allow for that. And there's a person, Bill Caldwell, who's with the Energy and Environment Cabinet in the Water Division, and he can help calculate based on that surface area what the anticipated water capture would be, so then more of what you would have to apply. But the gutters, the downspouts, the catchment pumps, any of that to be used for irrigating crops or irrigating your greenhouse, all of that fits within that program.
Okay.
Yep, I'll drop some information about that in the chat. It'll take me a minute to find the link. I don't have it committed to memory.
Thanks, Cindy.
Sure.
Anybody else? Bethany, or looks like Mr. England or Mr. Castle, look like you all joined on since we've been started. We're just doing introductions. If you all want to make a brief introduction before we start our presentation today.
This is Mike Castle. I'm sorry I was late, couldn't get on the Zoom, but I finally got hooked up. Just a wannabe farmer is all I am.
Where are you coming to us at from tonight, Mike?
I'm
Where
finally at
are
home.
you?
Yeah, finally at home.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, good deal.
I'm Clifford England, England's Orchard and Nursery. We are located near McKee, Kentucky. That's about 30 minutes away from Berea off I-75.
Right. Thank you, Mr. England. I think that's everybody. So I guess without further ado, Brandi, I'll turn it over to you. Oh, Cindy, did you have
Yep.
something?
Can I interrupt for a second? I
Sure.
don't know if Mr. England would want to mention the Kentucky Nut Growers Association. That is a member organization of the Kentucky Horticulture Council that is open for membership for anyone in the state who is interested in hobby or commercial production of nut crops. And then also, I know Mr. England's involved with some of the, I guess, more novel fruit production. So pawpaws, persimmons, those kinds of crops. So I don't know, Mr. England, if you would want to talk about that just a little bit.
We've got 40 acres of orchard, about 8 acres of persimmons, 10 acres of Asian pear, a couple of acres of apple, and we also do quince, medlar, shipova, and a few European pears. We supply the world with plant material, cutting wise and seed wise. Last year we shipped to 41 different countries. And yes, the Northern Nut Growers and the Kentucky Nut Growers Association is fine organizations. They do assist, teach, and train people to grow their own and encourage people to come out at the annual visits. The next one is going to be at the KSU Goodson building. That's the KSU farm. And it will be in, I think, the last Saturday in April. I know I throwed out a lot of information there, but we've been in business for 30 years, and well, we're doing okay. We do need a cooler, still working on getting a cooler, but I've got that pretty well nailed down. But other than that, if I can be of assistance in any way, just let me know.
Well, thank you, Mr. England. I didn't realize we had that association in the state. So I learned something new myself tonight. Well, Brandi, I'll turn it over to you.
All right. I learned something new too. I didn't know there was a Kentucky Nut Growers Association, so that is great information to have. That's something me and my husband are thinking of getting more into. I've been collecting black walnuts all week. So I am Brandi Button-Johnson, and I am with the Food Connection at the University of Kentucky, which is under the department or the College of Ag. And this is a new position I just started in May as the Western Kentucky Value Chain Coordinator. And I'm going to share my screen with you if I can. I think I can. And just kind of give a little overview of what it is that we do. Move this. Well, there we go. So the Food Connection at the University of Kentucky, the mission of it is to serve farmers, food producers, students in the community, supporting the development of vibrant and equitable local food systems in Kentucky. We are part of the land grant mission of the university. Well, I'm just flipping all over the place. Which supports transdisciplinary education, high impact service and outreach, and research on local and regional farming and food systems. So that's a fancy way of saying that we care a lot about the local and regional food system and that supply chain and how we're getting local foods into to larger markets. Part of that team is the Cultivate Kentucky team. We have Brian Brady and Courtney Bartlett on that team, and their contact information there at the bottom is important for especially new farmers. I would highly encourage you all to reach out to them if you are doing any type of produce production. They can help with one-on-one technical assistance as far as helping you develop or update your food safety plan. If you're going to sell to a large, like a mid to large scale outlet, a lot of those require a third-party gap audit, and they can help prepare you up to the point that you're ready to be audited. So far, they have 100% success rate, and that is a completely free service through the Food Connection and the Cultivate Kentucky team. And like Cindy was saying, the Kentucky Hort Council has that cost share for when you do have the actual audit take place. They can help with that. And then the Value Chain Collaborative is brand new this year, and that is where my work comes in. The value chain was developed in order to bring transparency and relationship to this whole food system within Kentucky. So we try to connect farmers with buyers to make the food supply chain more resilient within the state. And we identify new market opportunities and then gaps and bottlenecks as far as production, processing, aggregation, distribution, and procurement. And what that means is basically we meet with buyers and distributors throughout the state, like What Chefs Wants, formerly known as Creation Gardens. And we have meetings with them and their local food connection team and ask, what is it that you all are looking for? What is stuff that institutions or K through 12 schools or colleges are purchasing? And how can we help in matching farmers and growers in Kentucky with those markets? Whether that means that those growers need technical assistance in order to scale up to the level to enter those mid to large scale markets, or what other opportunities are available to those growers to have a direct farm impact. Because our ultimate goal is to affect the direct farm impact for Kentucky farmers and growers. So even if you're not growing to a scale to get into those mid to large scale markets, part of what I do is find those markets that are open and available to you and what opportunities are out there. So we work closely with the Kentucky Department of Ag and the grant programs that they have available right now, like the local food purchasing agreement and the local food for schools grants. And part of what's written into those grants is be able to procure smaller amounts, not the large amounts that are needed on a regular basis, but can kind of help you build up to getting into those larger scale markets. And that team is split up into Western, Central, and Eastern Kentucky. So Faye Kuzman is our Central Kentucky Value Chain Coordinator. Heather Graham is our Eastern Kentucky Value Chain Coordinator. And I am the Western Kentucky Value Chain Coordinator. And this is kind of a map to help kind of decide where your value chain coordinator's area is. So we use the University of Kentucky extension map, which didn't make much sense to me when I started this position. I told everybody I was from South Central Kentucky because I'm from Barron County, down there almost to the Tennessee line, right in the middle of the state in the South. They said, nope, you're Western Kentucky. So Metcalfe County over all the way to Fulton County is the western area that I serve, those 39 counties. And central Kentucky kind of makes that U down the middle of the state there, ending at Marion County and Lincoln County. And then eastern Kentucky is anywhere from Bracken County all the way over to Taylor and Greene County and then back. That kind of gives you an idea of wherever you're at. That, and you say Greenup County, so I'm actually trying to find that on the map right now. That so you can decide which value chain coordinator is yours based on that map. And the contact information for each of us is there at the bottom of the screen, which I'm happy to share. I'll leave that up for a minute so that you all can see our contact information after saying that Ashton Potter-Wright is our executive director at the Food Connection, and she works closely on campus with UK Dining and the Aramark contract that they have there on campus, which is negotiated to, they have to purchase at least 20% from Kentucky farmers. So that may not sound like a lot, but that is huge in the greater scheme of things with the amount of purchasing that UK Dining is doing for on campus. And that kind of translates into the latest report, I believe, in the last year was $1.3 million worth of food that was grown by Kentucky farmers. So it's those type of outlets that the Kentucky value chain coordinators are in conversation with and matching Kentucky growers with to get them into that sort of scale in our different regions. So I guess a simple overview that I like to give people, and they're like, well, what do you do anyway? I initially will set up a meeting with a farmer and go to them at their farm, wherever that is in Western Kentucky. And I have a standard questionnaire I kind of go over with them, asking, where they're at, what acreage they have, what they're growing on that, what different certifications they have, and if they are at the scale that someone like What Chefs Wants or a university or a K-12 school is looking for, then go ahead and match them with those, as long as they have all of the certifications that match what that buyer is needing. And then if that's not the case, we go over what it is that you see yourself doing. Like, would you like to scale to that level? Are you happy where you at? What are some of the grant opportunities that are available? What are some of the other resources throughout the state, whether it's Kentucky Hort Council or K-Card or KDA, that I can connect you with so that you can get your business plan in order or seek out grant opportunities or take advantage of workshops and market ready programming that allows you to expand and help your direct farm impact. And once we have that initial conversation, I kind of just stay in contact and try to go along that journey with the farmer of, are they getting the resources that they need? Are they getting connected to the markets that they need? Are they at the place that they want to be? And if not, what else do we need to do? And just kind of, I call myself the fly that buzzes around and is constantly building those relationships and asking, trying to get the foot in the door wherever it is that the farmer may need. And also to help with any technical assistance that comes along with that. Because we all know farmers love technology and love to be on computers and cell phones. So if that is not the case, I'm being sarcastic there, I'm a very sarcastic person, then I will sit down with them and fill in applications for them and try to help navigate whatever it is that they need technology wise, one-on-one, set up Zoom conversations with the right resources, anything from that technical assistance and the simple typing in, printing stuff off, scanning it in to getting it to the right people to sign up for Kentucky Proud or Buy Local or any of those programs, and up to connecting them and having meetings coordinated one-on-one with the buyers and the different distributors that can get their products into the different outlets. So think that's a good general overview if you are happy with that. And if I'll be happy to answer any questions that anybody might have. And stop sharing my screen here.